but shouldn't. I know George Bush. I've worked against George Bush. I've even run against George Bush. But, Ned, I'm not George Bush.
And Senator Lieberman, if you won't challenge President Bush and his failed agenda, I will.
And when you're a senator, you've got to make decisions. By God, if you believe we should get out of Iraq right now, have the courage of your convictions to say so. Do you support a specific deadline for getting out of Iraq?
Absolutely. Like Chris Dodd, like the part of the Democratic Party in Washington, D.C., I supported both of those amendments. Those amendments in Washington, D.C. were clear. It's time for us to change course. Time for us to start getting our frontline troops out of harm's way. We get our troops out of harm's way within the next 6 months. We get our troops out of Iraq over the course of the next year.
I'm not for an open-ended commitment to Iraq. The sooner we're out of there, the better it will be for the Iraqis and for us. But if we leave too soon, we will create disaster there, a terrorist state, civil war, regional instability, and the terrorists will be emboldened to strike us again.
Look, it's General Casey who said we ought to start bringing our troops home, as early as September or October.
That's
It's
exactly
the American generals who are beginning to come up with a timeline. It's important we set a timeline. The Maliki government is asking us to set a timeline. Many members of Congress are asking us to set a timeline. Many Iraqis are asking us to do that. The Arab League is saying, let's set a timeline. Let the Iraqis know that only they can solve this.
You know, when I'm in agreement with his goals, as I was in immigration reform in the Senate, or the goal of a free and independent and democratic Iraq, I'm not going to oppose him. I'm not going to oppose that policy or change my position because he happens to be of the other party. That's the importance of your question, Jerry. The fact is that Washington has become rigidly and reflexively partisan, and it stops us from doing what the people want us to do. I'm one of the senators who's able to reach across the partisan divide to get things done, and that's helped me deliver for Connecticut.
I look at the illegal wiretaps. I thought that was a time that Democrats should have stood up and held the president accountable. I think we should have said that was wrong. I think we should have had hearings. If there was any debate about whether those wiretaps were illegal, we should have had a debate in the Senate. And if not, I think censure was an appropriate remedy. I think censure was a way of telling the President of the United States what you did was wrong.
He's a single-issue candidate who's applying a litmus test to me. It's not good enough to be 90% voting with my colleagues in the Senate Democratic caucus. He wants 100%. And when a party does that, it's the beginning of the defeat of that party.
We've got tens of thousands of people across the state of Connecticut and beyond who want the Democrats to stand up and be counted. Be clear about where we stand. Think boldly. Talk boldly about what we want to do. Offer a real constructive alternative to the Bush agenda.
I'm the Democrat in this race, and I know I can do better for the people of Connecticut than he or Alan Schlesinger can in the tough years ahead. That's why I'll go on if this primary doesn't work out as I want it to, but I believe it will.
Thank you.
I think Mr. Bailey would ask Senator Lieberman to make up his mind. Are you a Democrat or are you an independent? If you're going to run as a Democrat, play by the rules, stick with the Democratic rules, as I have. I said I'm going through the primary. I'm going to endorse the winner of that primary. I hope his name is Ned Lamont. We go forward together as a unified party. We'll be a stronger party for it. Or if you want to be an independent, run as an independent. But you can't have it both ways.
But he actually supported me, gave me contributions 3 times after I took the position I did on Iraq. I haven't changed my position. What changed is that some people convinced him that he had the opportunity to become a United States Senator. And so the question the people of Connecticut are reasonably asking is, who is Ned Lamont?
Well, the senator's got to make up his mind. Either I'm far left or I'm too cozy with the Republicans, but it's a little difficult to be both. And I thought the Bear ad, while slightly cute, was somewhat unbearable.
Ned, I presume you were also asked that question, and I ask you tonight, will you release your state and federal tax returns to respect the public's right to know?
I have done everything asked of me to respect the public's right to know. We have submitted hundreds of pages of documentation on everything there is regarding financially Annie and Ned Lamont. And you said after 18 years, the people of Connecticut say now is the time for a change. You think those words are just as true today as they were 18 years ago?
You're not going to be surprised by my answer.
I don't think I will.
Then it was true, because that senator had stopped working for and delivering for the people. That senator, who's now your supporter, basically went off on his own tangents. It's a choice between a senator the people of Connecticut know, who offers you experience, principles, and hope for a better future, and a challenger, frankly, you don't know, who has been inconsistent, is unpredictable, and offers mostly criticism, negativism, and pessimism. The people of Connecticut and I have known each other for a long time. We've laughed and cried together. We've prayed and dreamed together, and most of all, we've worked together. Tonight, for Connecticut's future, I ask you to give me the honor of working for you for 6 more years.
It won't take me 18 years to sign on to a bill that says health care is a basic right for each and every American. And I'll vote to roll back the Bush-Cheney-Lieberman energy bill, which provides billions of subsidies to big oil and does so little for conservation, energy independence, and the environment. And I will not find common ground with the Bush administration when they're trying to privatize Social Security. I'll fight for Social Security. I'll fight for our constitutional liberties. I believe so strongly that we're stronger as a country when we're true to our basic values and we work in concert with our allies. And most importantly, I will bring our brave troops home to the hero's welcome that they deserve. Rather than